We're pleased to announce CoffeeTalk Jazz Radio has come to television. Join veteran broadcaster and host Ms. Bridgette Lewis right here on CoffeeTalk Jazz Radio TV.
Something big is brewing here at CoffeeTalk Jazz Television. I am your host, Ms. Bridgette Lewis, also known as the Coffee Lady. I am so excited because Christmas is in the air and it's just a few days away. And today we present our Cooking with Jazz series. And I'm here at the legendary Spaghettini's Grill and Jazz Club here in Seal Beach, close to the 405, 22, and 605 freeway where they meet. I'm here with my very special guest, the co-owner of Spaghettini's Grill and Jazz, Cary Hardwick. Hi, Cary. Welcome to the show.
How are you? Legendary. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I am thrilled and beyond excited that I have a chance just to chat with you today about your wonderful restaurant. Now, because this is our Cooking with Jazz series, your Sunday Brunch is a tradition. I want to know all about the Sunday Brunch, how you got started, and how long has it been in existence?
You know, the Sunday Brunch is going on its 13th year.
Oh.
And 94.7 The Wave has been an incredible partner of ours. And we like to think of ourselves as the face of the Wave. You know, the station is up in Wilshire Boulevard and you can't go there. But you know the feeling that they give you. Well, we try to carry that out in the way we take care of our guests and have our music and then how we take care of the musicians. And so we're in our 13th year and just really excited.
All right. Well, speaking of musicians, we have this wonderful music that is playing in the background, and some of the biggest, brightest, and best stars have graced the stages here at Spaghettini's Grill and Jazz. So share with us, what's one of the secrets to establishing good, strong business relationships in the music business, in the music industry?
We've been blessed by God for sure, but I'm going to tell you the real secret that we can do physically on a day in, day out basis, and that is feed people. So the artists, a lot of the artists that come and play at Spaghettini, and we've had incredible artists, Well, Poncho Sanchez likes our lamb chops, and Esperanza Spalding liked our Chilean sea bass, and so it just kind of grew that way. And we just, when the artists come in, we're very different from other venues in that we just really embrace them, and we want them to feel as a part of our family. And what do you like to eat? And you'd be amazed at how much that gets people coming back.
Well, speaking of the Chilean sea bass, I was here last night at Spaghettini's, and we were here with Greg Adams of the East Bay Soul for the Sweet Soul Christmas, and I got to tell you, there was standing room only. They blew the place out. Yeah. They got a standing ovation, and I'm still tasting the Chilean sea bass in my mouth, and I hear that's one of the hottest selling items on the menu. And tell us about some of the food that is actually served here at Spaghettini's.
Well, another really important element about Spaghettini is that we are a restaurant first and foremost, and will always be, and are always striving to be the very best provider of food and service. The music just kind of happened as a result of that. It really did. And because we focus so much on trying to be the very best restaurant in Southern California,
yes,
that you'll never see us sway from that. Never. We'll never be a music venue first. We'll always be a restaurant first. So, you know, I've been in the business for 35 years. I've been at Spaghettini for 25 years. We've owned it. My partner and I built it from the ground up. This is like our home. It really, truly is. And my business partner and I have been friends for 30 years, but in our 25-year partnership, we've never fought. We rarely talk about who's going to do what. It just happens naturally, and I think that comes across when you come in our place where someone will say there's something different about it. I think it's because of our passion and love for people and really an extension of who we are.
Well, I got to tell you, I felt completely at home. I visited this venue on so many different occasions to see the world-class talent. And when I came in, one of the things that I noticed, which was really key for me, I'm really big on relationships, but more so than that, I'm really big on customer service. Every single person that works here at this facility, everyone was so warm and caring and giving and asking me, is there anything else I can get for you? Making sure I had extra water, extra napkins, or whatever it is. So you've employed some of your same staff members for quite a long time. So can you tell us, how long has the longest staff member actually been here at Spaghettini's?
You know, we've been open almost 25 years. A handful, my core people, have been with me for upwards of 30 years. I used to run some other restaurants for other people before I owned my own place. So my sous chef, has been with me since 1985.
Oh.
And the Velvet Turtle was an old...
Yes,
and
I
so I ran
remember that.
some of them, and I kind of got the best of them. But you know, the number one thing that kind of we take good people that we love, and then we empower them. You know, we let them. They have the latitude to do whatever it takes, and we look for people that get excited about exceeding someone's expectations about their food, their service, their special occasion. You know, if you go on the brunch right now and DW3 is on stage, everybody here is having a birthday or an anniversary. They're celebrating something, and we appreciate that they've chosen us, driven a long way sometimes. And so we just give the latitude to our employees to do whatever it takes to make sure that the people leave here not just having a good experience, but a great experience.
Well, that's exactly how I feel every time I come in, and it's like you've heard the old cliche is like, you know, you tell two friends and you tell two friends, and that was how I heard about Spaghettini's, because someone told me about, they go, have you been there? We heard about it on 90.47 The Wave, and as soon as I tasted the food, I feel like your motto is one bite and we got you. Because once you taste the food, it's like, we're done. I have to go back, you know, for more. And I'm looking out over the parking lot. The parking lot is filled right now. We see the valets are stopping, people are getting out, and that is just thrilling. I mean, to have folks to come back again and again. I mean, I'm a repeat customer. I'm definitely going to come back. I want to talk a little bit more about your business background. Now, you actually taught at the Cottonwood Christian Academy. So tell us a little bit about your business background.
Well, I grew up in Long Beach, and I went away to college at Indiana University.
Okay, Indiana.
And I ran track for Indiana, but I'm from the Long Beach area. And then I came back, and I'm a member of Cottonwood Christian Center, and I got a secondary degree in theology. And then afterwards, they asked me to come up with a curriculum, help them with a curriculum that was about having ministry students that wanted to stay in their business and have that be their ministry. Ooh. So it was really good because it changed my perspective on my business, because I have 100 employees that work with me, and we have 150,000 customers a year that come in. So that's wonderful opportunities to kind of serve others and have my beliefs come out in my business.
Those numbers, number one, 150,000 customers that visit Spaghettini's on a year, those numbers are just amazing, and you have a wonderful business model. But one thing I just heard you say is that because of what you learned at Cotton Christianwood Academy, now you've actually translated that over. So it's like your business is really, it's a ministry, and that's how you lead your business, that's how you teach your employees. Is that...
Well, can I tell you something?
Sure.
My wife went to Cottonwood School of Ministry first, and I felt the calling to go, but I didn't want to go because I thought God was saying, I'm going to take you out of your business and you're going to go into the church ministry.
Okay.
And so I held off a year going to the School of Ministry, but the calling never stopped.
I know about that.
So I went, and the whole first year I thought, well, God's going to have me sell my business, and that's all right. God, I'm being obedient. In the second year of School of Ministry, I was in a class called Kings and Priests, and it was like the light went on, and this awakening that I could have my ministry be my business.
Yes.
It changed the way, when I walked into work the next day, I literally had a totally different feeling about my workplace.
Wow.
Wonderful.
I feel your passion as we're sitting here talking, and that is so exciting. Now, I have to ask you this. This is the holiday season, and Christmas is just a few days away. Can you share with us what's one of your favorite Christmas memories or family moments?
Oh, well, you're talking about with Spaghettini or just period?
What is the one that, I'm sure you've probably had so many, but what's one that stands out for you as a family man and then here at Spaghettini's?
Well, my grandmother, kind of a large Polish grandmother, one that really showed her love through eating, so thus the restaurant. Okay, she would just, she'd cook all day long, and our Christmases and Thanksgivings were all the family together. We have incredible turkey and stuffing and all the usual, but then we would also have galumkis and pierogis and homemade. My uncles were butchers, and they would make this wonderful Polish sausage, and so love translated for eating for me, and it still carries through today. today, but I remember my grandmother going around, and if you were too skinny, she was grabbing your face, and you need to eat, and eat, and I just remember that, because it was very warm. Being in her kitchen are some of the warmest memories I have.
Wow, I got to tell you, first of all, I can tell that eating is totally in your DNA. I can just see it oozing through your pores as we're talking. I think about one of my favorite Christmas memories, and of course, it's tied into food. Now, I'm a Southern girl, so of course I love to eat, and one of the things I remember is making homemade ice cream and having the old-fashioned wooden bucket and the rock salt and having a little handle and just turning it and going back in and putting the strawberries in. So I can see you can relate to what I'm saying right now. So
we do that all the time here at Spaghettini. We do a lot of the stuff in the back. I order off the menu about maybe 1 out of every 10 times. The other 9 times, I'm asking the chef, can we do this? Can we do that? Making ice cream, gelato, as we call it here at the Italian restaurant. We're doing that all the time. It's so much fun. You know, eating is just one of those pleasures that you can take while you're talking to people and having family time and having friend time and you share. And it's just something for me that it encompasses everything that I love about life. It's all centered about food a lot.
Of course. Now, we're at the end of 2012. It seems as if we were just saying Happy New Year. What's one memory, a mile marker that stands out for 2012 for you? I'm sure there's a lot.
There is a lot. You know, personally, my oldest son, Luke, who's out here in the Valley, he graduated San Jose State, and I'm just so proud of him. And,
I'm so sure.
And that's wonderful. And all my children, I have 4 kids, and they're doing great. But we had a long time desire to write a cookbook. And so we wrote a cookbook this year, and it came out in September, and it's been probably a 10-year-long desire and a whole year project, and we finally did it. Spaghettini Classics.
Well, this is exciting. This is a Spaghettini Classics cookbook that Cary Hardwick and his co-founder, Lori Cisneros, actually wrote. So I'm just going to open it up. First of all, let's look at the cover. That's great.
I wanted to tell you, in our 25 years, there's always been people asking us, can you know, the Chilean sea bass or the lamb chops or the tiramisu or all of our favorites, and they're asking for the recipes, and you know, we'll give them to them, but we put all of the Spaghettini favorites in here, and we're really proud of the book, of the outcome.
This is good. Now, I'm only on the first page, and I open it up to the lemon shrimp Bridgette.
Right.
Oh my goodness, this looks so good.
That sautéed shrimp has limoncello in it, which is an Italian liqueur, and it's a sweet Italian lemon liqueur, and that just finishes that dish like you wouldn't believe. Wonderful.
Wow, this is really something.
And my good friend Dave Cos, if you look on the inside cover, we did some filming with Dave this past year over at my partner's house. And we did some cooking things that lived on the Waves website, and we'd have he does cooking with Cos. We'd have Spaghettini would have Dish of the Day with Talaya, and so we would be once a quarter. We do Dish of the Day. We do these videos, and Dave was there, and he was so kind to do the forward on our book, and we're just really proud of the outcome.
Wow, I love Dave Cos, one of my favorite saxophone players, and I believe that I saw that video. I can't even tell you where, and it looked as if you all were actually in a gondola filming. Am I correct? Okay.
My business partner lives on Naples Island in Long Beach. So we started off with Dave playing, standing up in the gondola, and Lori and I pretending like we were in the Mediterranean off the coast of Italy. And then I said, well, okay, really, we're in Long Beach and Naples, but all right, Dave. And then we went in her kitchen and we cooked up. And we did 5 episodes in one day at her house, and we had so much fun. So much fun.
Well, I got to tell you, it certainly worked, because when I saw the video, I was having these dreams. I'm like, wow. And I said, it looked like you're having such a great time. And it really did look as if you all were actually in Naples, Italy. But I'm telling you.
I got to tell you just a little secret about this, because we did all 5 videos in one day. So we were changing our clothes, we were changing the set. Each one of the food items that we were doing was paired up with a wine or some cocktail or something. So by the end of the day, 5 shoots. I don't drink, but Lori and Dave had about 14 different types of drinks or glasses of wine or something, and they were just ready to go home and go to bed.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of wine, you all serve world-class wine here, and I don't drink either. But what I'd like to know is, for example, with a lot of the foods that you serve, when you're serving a fish dinner, when you're serving like a pasta, how do you know which wine to pair with which food?
Well, I mean, a trick that we learned in Italy is that when you're doing your dishes in a certain region, you definitely want to pair up the wines. If it's a fish and you're doing a light sauce with it, and if you're in like Napa, you're going to get the wines of that region. In Italy, because of everybody's making wine in their homes, right?
Oh.
They do. I mean, they're all making
Okay.
wines, and they wouldn't think of having wines necessarily from outside their region for their family meals or in their restaurants. You're going to drink something from that region, and we kind of try to do that too. We do a lot of boutique small wineries, and then we try to pair our foods with foods that we've gotten from local grown produce and farms for where we get our lamb, and stuff like that, and then we pair it up with the wines locally, and it adds to the kind of the romance of the meal, but it pairs well.
So I want to transition I want to talk about some of the great artists that have been here at Spaghettini's, with so many wonderful sax players and guitar players. How do you decide, or who decides who's actually going to be on stage?
Myself and Hugh do a lot of that, all the music, and I don't use a booking agent. I do it myself. I really work on relationships with the artists,
yes.
and we're always trying to do something special. If I told you the list, I can't even tell you because there's literally thousands of people that have graced our stage that you would go, really? I mean, a gentleman who just passed away, he's just a legend. You remember Gil Scott-Heron?
Yes.
Gil Scott-Heron played here. And then there's
my
the
goodness.
British father of the blues, John Mayall, and the Blues Breakers. They started careers like Mick Fleetwood and Eric Clapton. He's graced our stage a couple of days. And you know why he was here? Because he loved our lamb chops. So he wanted to play here. I told you that secret works. If
It
you
is
feed-
the food that
you get to-
pulls the
you get-
musicians
It does.
in.
It does. That's the secret right there. Because I don't have the money for some of these guys to play, but they'll love to hang out. I got to tell you about one night in particular. We did it for a charity. In one night, these are a bunch of 80s superstars at the time. I had the group America, Ambrosia, Kenny Loggins, Alan Parsons, and REO Speedwagon. Now they're not jazz; they're of the pop rock genre.
Sure.
All of them here in one night on our stage doing their number one hits. And then we had some smooth jazz artists too that wanted to see the show. So I had Brian Culbertson
I
on
love
stage
Brian.
with his trombone in the middle of an REO Speedwagon song. This place was going crazy. Kenny Loggins was going to come do a couple of songs and go back to Santa Barbara. By the end of the night, he goes, do you think I can get a room across the street? Because all these guys never get to work together because they're all so
Sure,
busy
yeah.
in the big venues.
Absolutely.
Well, here we were feeding them, and I had fine wines that they were drinking. They all loved having nice wines.
Sure.
And by the end of it, midnight, you couldn't get them off the stage. I think we finished about 1 o'clock on stage, and they all wanted to stick around and drink wines. It was fun.
Well, I just think it's amazing having the power to build relationships with food.
Yeah.
And so one of the last questions that I want to ask you, what's your legacy, or what do you most want to be remembered for?
What do I most want to be remembered for? Well, that is a really good question, because I think my legacy is important, and it's really two-sided when you talk about business. Well, who I am personally is kind of what's coming across in my business, and I think it has to do with my spiritual aspect and things that are a priority for me, and especially we talked earlier about going to Cottonwood School of Ministry, and so I've over 11 years of teaching there. I've had hundreds of students, and so I'm well aware that I tell a lot of stories about my business, and so I'm kind of open for people to come in and see what I'm all about a lot, and so I love for what's important to me spiritually to come across in my business in the everyday transaction through all of my employees, whether they're Christians, Muslims, or not.
Right.
But that they get what's inside of me and they get it inside of them. And I've had more people come to me that you want to quietly, your faith you want to live your faith, I believe, right? It's not about, it's about living your faith. And I've had so many opportunities over the years to speak with people, pray with people, just be there with people. And it's nothing about religion.
Right.
It's about relationship.
Yeah.
And it's about that experience. And I think that would be more what I would say I'd like to leave with people in my legacy, is that there was really something different. you know, and that they don't do their own searching to find out what that difference is.
Yeah, I really feel you on that, because one of the great things that we do at CoffeeTalk Jazz Radio and Television is that we actually build relationships, and we have a chance to talk with the artists. Just as you had mentioned, they often say there's really something different about you. Exactly what is that? You seem to be really different from the folks we normally sit down and talk to, and once again, that does open up the door, you know, to your faith. And as you said, you don't have to take your Bible and hit them over the head with it. It is your lifestyle, it's your mannerisms, and it's just the way that you carry yourself. And that in turn will kind of like make a person kind of pause and say, wow, I think I want what she has. And then they, in fact, you know, will ask you, well, I have to tell you, it has been an absolute pleasure and joy to chat with you today here at CoffeeTalk Jazz Television. And everything that I've heard about you is true, and even more. Even before I had a chance to meet you, they said he is the warmest, nicest person you could ever meet, and it's completely true.
Well, thank you,
thank
Bridget.
you so much.
Thank you so much. All right, God bless.
With music in our hearts and jazz in our souls, we want to thank you, our friends, fans, and supporters, for making CoffeeTalk Jazz Television #1. I love you for listening. I'll see you next time.